mic working? Yeah, right. Oh, there we go. What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 342. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Back again. Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, what up, guys? Can't wait to talk about that Black Widow.
Adam Vale.
Taco Free Sunday.
And the one, the only, Mr. Brett Murdoch.
What up, folks?
Brett, how you doing, man?
Oh, man.
I'm doing good. I wasn't here last on Thursday because I was seeing the Black Widow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we missed you, man. We miss you. So,
sorry. It is a standing rule. Anytime that there is a Marvel release, I am not going to be there that Thursday. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We're like when we saw that. Oh, yeah, that's right. He always goes to these because I completely forgot that movies are open again. I completely forgot. So it's all good.
It's been a year.
Yeah, movies.
Why? Quickly, Brett, spoiler free. What did you think of the movie?
I actually really liked it.
Interesting.
The one thing I'll say, just to put in an elevator pitch to walk away from this is, this movie was dangerously close to becoming rah-rah girl power with nothing really holding it up, just a real Mary Sue kind of bullshit thing. But it didn't. It didn't go the Captain Marvel route.
Yeah.
I'll watch it one of these days.
We'll have a discussion because I think, did all of us see it here?
No, I
You have it. Adam has it. Yeah, because I know the rest of you. I know for a fact the rest of you guys have. You know why I know that? Because today we participated in a spoiler cast over on the Coalition, which was very cool, hosted by me. I hosted it, which was pretty cool. So
that guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
does that mean? So does that mean that it's officially, being that you hosted it, it became a spoiler alert?
Yeah, it did.
As opposed
Yes.
to a spoiler cast.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed that, like, I don't do the intros or outros the way Dane does. I do it the way I do it. So I did like a throwdown intro and outro,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good stuff. It was all of us here, except it was me, Manny, Chris, Carlos. Chris and Carlos, we do this the Loki cast too. This was a little bit more of an enjoyable experience because the movie
Yeah, nobody told me.
Yeah, damn. Brett, were you available at 1 o'clock today?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I should have told you. I did. That's
Well,
right. Yeah, you did see the movie. Yeah. We'll try to get you into the next Marvel one. And it was spur of the moment too. Like just yesterday when we were doing the Loki cast, like, should we do a Black Widow one? Like, yeah, we should do a Black Widow one. Why not?
It's cool.
Yeah, Black Widow. It was all right. we'll get more into it later, Brett. I didn't hate it. I just think they could have cut 45 minutes out of this shit just to trim it down. But the action.
I won't say that. Like, I'm not saying I'm against that. Like, it's like the one. There are movies that try so hard to be girl power movies that they end up just falling on your face.
Yeah, this wasn't
Wonder
that.
Woman, 1984.
Yeah,
and I think that's the big fear when you're kind of going into one of these movies, kind of thing. Like, are they actually going to focus on the story, or are they just going to ham fist a message at me? And they actually told a story, so that was cool.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because it could have easily devolved into that, but thankfully it didn't. It was just a regular movie, which is good. Anyway, we're here for video games, so let's get to your questions. No real, because over the last couple of weeks we've had a kind of I guess theme to the questions. None of that this week. It's just random stuff, which is okay because there's not really much going on in gaming right now after E3. Things have died down. But let's get into it. First question is from Monkey Man 652. There's a new name, but I like it.
Yeah,
I like that name, Monkey Man. So
man, that was a good comic by Arthur Adams.
Yeah,
Monkey
it was.
Man O'Brien.
Oh,
Monkey
that's
Man
right, O'Brien.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I was talking to my friend Jeffrey, who's also my editor, and he's like, "Man, like, did Arthur Adams just stop working for 30 years?" Like, no, dude, he did Monkey Man and O'Brien. He does covers, He
is out of a lot of the people from his era. He has continued to stay working. He's always doing Marvel covers.
The thing is, what he asked me was, because we were talking about the Asgard Wars or Asgardian Wars, and he was like, "Has he done any actual comics?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Monkey Man and O'Brien. Need to know about that." But yeah, outside of that, correct me if I'm wrong. He hasn't. He just does covers now, right? He doesn't
he's just a cover artist right now. But I think, as far as full on books,
Monkey Man and O'Brien was the last thing, I think.
No, there was a Gen 13 of Monkey Man O'Brien that he did, and then there's a couple of other smaller things. I mean,
Like a monthly is what he asked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he did Ultimates. I think he did Ultimates Wolverine for a bit too.
I think
When
you're right
Wolverine
about
had
that.
when Wolverine had the blonde hair and everything.
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
Ultimate Universe. Yeah. He
Yeah.
did spattering things here and there, and I think he did a bit of Authority at some point too.
Yeah.
So
he's
you
around.
know, he's been around, but like nothing on that, like I would say on that level. Like not Monkey Man O'Brien, but a lot of the Marvel,
the
Marvel
Asgard Wars.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asgard's Wars and new Fantastic Four with the Ghost Rider and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. I love
yeah.
how this username just got us to talk about Monkey Man and O'Brien. This what happens. We have a bunch of comic book nerds.
Yep.
All right. So his first question is: will Jedi Fallen Order 2 get announced during EA Play? Hopefully. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Who
that
knows?
First one,
Yeah.
That first one did quite well.
It did very well, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
In recent months, we had the PS4 upgrade to make it look better on PS5. Then we had an actual proper PS5 update for it. I installed. I got the platinum in it again. So
Wait, you got the platinum twice on it?
yeah, because when I did the upgrade to PS5, the trophies just popped. You had to do a trick though. You had to do a trick though because you had to meditate in your little Jedi circle in your ship, and then the trophies start popping.
So does that mean all the photos are just you like focusing?
What do you mean?
You don't want to attach.
Oh,
you turned it off?
Yeah, I turned that shit off because that would be really annoying. But here's the by the way.
question.
Yeah, go ahead. By the way, we can't really answer this one. Who the fuck knows? It would be nice, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Is Jedi Fallen Order in Game Pass or free? Was it free on PSN Plus?
No,
I don't know.
It definitely was not on Plus.
No, I bought it.
I don't know about Game Pass.
I bought it. It was when I bought it in November, I believe. Last year it was on sale for like $15.
Yeah, I bought it on sale too.
I was like, let me buy this shit, and then because I skipped the game because I was still in that phase where I didn't care about Star Wars thanks to the shitty movies, but. After seeing The Mandalorian, I'm like, hey, I like Star Wars again. So I picked up this game, $15, because I was like, I don't care about this game. This game was fucking amazing. I played the first 15 minutes. I'm like, this is a Tony game. This is a straight up Tony game. I fucking loved it. So I hope we get another one. It's fantastic. So, but the thing is, I'm gonna. EA is giving us signs. That's what I take it as. Like, okay, we get the PS4 remaster, then we get the PS5 upgrade. I think something may be going on. I could be wrong, but I think this game sold a lot of copies, so it would be stupid of them. But then again, Burnout Paradise sold a lot of copies too. BA still hasn't given us a sequel to that shit. Dead Space sold very, very well. Look what happened in that franchise. So, when it comes to EA, you never know. They're almost borderline Nintendo like that. Like they don't do the things that would make sense.
No.
But yeah, again, we can't really. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is one of those games that I missed out on. That I really wish I got into. I still can get into, but I thought for some reason it was like free somewhere.
Yeah, if it was, I don't know. But yeah, no, I was surprised. Like, wow, how did I miss this game? This game is good.
If you have that EA access, it's part of it.
Yeah,
so maybe that's what you think. That's on that service. Yeah,
I'll pass.
Pay $4.99 a month.
EA Pass.
I ain't giving money to companies that blacklist my peoples.
Some bullshit. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna announce FIFA 22 after the Euros. It's like, yeah, all right. So you got apparently new, version, new engine, all that shit for the consoles, and the Switch version getting another legacy. They just
even though
it's ridiculous.
Even though my peoples who get blacklisted still give them money.
I don't. No, I'm not buying. I haven't bought another FIFA game on the Switch since 18. 18 when I realized they're just legacy ones.
Yeah.
What the fuck is? And you know what legacy is? It's just an update of the rosters. That's it. And they still charge $60. $60 just to have an updated roster, as opposed to $60. Well, now $70 on the other ones. I'll get you all the bells and whistles.
Oh, by the way, Epic Geezer says that the game's on Game Pass. Jedi Fallen Order.
There you go. So then that's what
really?
you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
really?
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian, man. By the way, Brian couldn't be here tonight because he's fending off soccer hooligans who are terrorizing England.
But that's right. But remember, the Game Pass, EA Access merged with Game Pass. It's in there. So, yeah, that's how you got it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's through the EA access.
So I guess it's not available on the PC. That's why I didn't see it. So I might have to check it out on the Xbox. Let me
Hey, do you mean that Xbox right there that I'm looking at right now? Like in Thomas standing in front of.
let me do something.
Yeah, go check it out, man. Yeah, shout out to Brian, man. Yo, by the way, real quick, just off topic, and I did this shit on purpose too. I did this shit on purpose, your boy, man. Because when I troll expertly on Twitter now, right? So I go on there because all day I've been seeing England, Italy, right? You know, soccer, right? So I go out there, I'm like, listen, and like me, the American, doesn't understand why people are talking about England, Italy, and soccer. And I threw that word soccer in there on purpose. These motherfucking Europeans, man. You know what happened. It's football. And I'm an asshole. I'm like, no, that's not football. This is football. And I would show my gift of American football.
Here's the funny thing. The word soccer is the old English slang word for it.
Yeah.
So it's still an English word. It's not an American word. It's not like what we did with football from rugby.
And the funny thing is, if these dudes would have spelled it F-U-T, I'd be like, all right, yeah, it's cool. But football, that's American football, baby. And I'm American, so America
if
first.
You think about American football, doesn't make sense because it's only one person kicks the ball.
Yeah.
So it's really rugby. It should be, rough ball or a tackle ball.
Rough ball.
Yeah. That's what rugby is short for. But it should definitely be tackle ball.
Yeah.
So quick update, shout out to Epic Geezer. Yep, it's available on Game Pass.
Hey.
Shout
out to Epic Geezer. Thank you.
Click some buttons, download.
You need to feel the force, Anakin.
Yo, Epic Geezer, brother, we got your questions tonight. We will be answering them. So get
By the way, Manny, I got to bust out a nerdy thing. It's technically Luke, but
yeah.
Gotta feel the force, Luke.
Anakin. I was doing young.
You were doing young? Okay.
Yeah, I was doing young Anakin.
Xbox Game Pass.
Young Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that they merged the EA access.
Also, shout out to Game Pass for the Master Chief Collection. You know.
Oh yes.
Oh, did you guys play?
We and Adam, we finished the fight last night, man.
All right.
Nice.
Finished the fight. It ended on another cliffhanger. Come on, Halo. What are you doing to me right now? 2 ended on a cliffhanger. Now 3 ended on a cliffhanger too.
Leaving Master Chief in space and
he's in stasis. Like what is this?
Of course.
No, but the game was dope. We got a question about that too later. But we'll get to it. Do make it. You already know. All right. Next question. Do I even have the next? We went through that one fast, didn't we? Oh no, we didn't go to the next one.
Wasn't there a question? There wasn't.
Yeah, we answered it already. Jedi Fallen Order. This next question is kind of fun though. By the way, Epic Geezer. The Epic Geezer's question. His first one was asking us like, what games from which studios, PlayStation, Xbox, we want to see swap, but we kind of answer a question similar to that.
Yeah,
so
we
talked about that. So we'll go to the next question here. This one's kind of funny too. Will we ever stop seeing studios or game creators having god complexes? I'm mostly referring to people like Hideo Kojima, Todd Howard, or studios like CD Projekt Red. Oh man!
I mean, what about Kojima? Does he think make you think he has a god complex?
It's the people that hype him.
I was just about to say that. It's more of a cult of personality, not really that they themselves see themselves that way. It's just people put these things on them. They idolize them. Cult of personality.
He's not pulling an Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He's
never
saying he's anything like that.
No, I don't think he's ever said. Japan is all about humble shit. So I mean, and then Todd Howard, I think. Todd Howard is the Bethesda guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
you see him at every event.
The only thing I can say about Todd Howard is that he just comes across as smug, and it seems you know what I mean? Like he
looks like he's 15 years old and he's running a company. That's why. So he feels like he's a boy genius.
He kind of seems like he's a bit of a dick. But again, I don't know him personally. But yeah, I don't. It's just the way he sort of looks.
Your face looks dickish.
It looks a bit dickish.
There's some guys like that.
I don't know. There's just some people. Yeah, there's just some people that sort of look that way. But I don't. I mean, again, I don't get a sort of god complex from him either.
Nah. Same thing with CD Projekt Red. It's people brought them up to that level, but they never did that, They They never like had any complexes or whatever. Like,
mean,
oh, we're
yeah,
the best company ever. They never really had that. It was the people that put them up there like that.
Yeah,
The people.
I don't know very many game directors were literally like, oh no, maybe Peter Molyneux. He actually might have had a god complex.
He had such a god complex. He made a game called God. Yep.
made a game called Goddess.
You know who? It's not a god complex, but very smug, very arrogant.
Yeah.
Gotta say it. Gotta say it. Cliffy B.
Yeah, he seems a bit.
He has definitely displayed that, you know.
Yeah, and like he sort of knows what he is.
I think it's because he became rich. I mean, successfully rich off of just one game.
Yeah, Gears.
Gears, because he didn't have Unreal. That was just something he worked on. But the whole thing with Gears, and that was all on him. And so he made so much money. So it's almost like winning the lotto. Instant till this day, he gets money from that. As long as they keep spitting those games out, he's getting.
But even when he put out that game of his, the one that bombed, he was like, he literally said, "I thought because of me the game would succeed." All right, bro.
Yeah, well, he's up there. That's his head. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you one day started making millions off of one thing, you probably think you can shit gold bricks. So I think that's what happened. He thought that he could make it.
But
plus it.
Yeah, but then again, like that, we realized that he believed his own hype to the point where he thought that even he can throw out a piece of shit and people would just eat it up.
Yeah, Lawbreakers. Thank you. Yeah, that game.
Mm-hmm. He created a whole company, and he had like multiple games. That was the other game, and that one started picking up steam. But at that point, everything went to shit, so it was too late. But I think people still play that other game. It's like a Fortnite type game.
Really, I thought that one got canned too.
That one was the one that was taking off, and they were like, "Yeah, we just don't have money to invest," and they lost all of that. So, party's over.
Yeah. Epic Geezer says, "Thanks for answering. Thank you for asking us, man.
Thanks,
appreciate that." Yeah, Cliffy B's probably. I mean, there's probably others. I don't know about what's his face? Is it Itagaki?
Itagaki, yeah.
Itagaki kind of has that going on, you know.
Yeah, he kind of feels like he thinks he's God's gift to to video gaming, even when the video games don't even do anything.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Itagaki. I wonder if it's because of the sunglasses.
You can't see his eyes.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. This one is from Chakzilla. This one, we'll see if anybody's seen this thing. Did anybody catch the new Resident Evil series on Netflix? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's trash.
Oh, damn!
Trash, hot garbage.
It's on Carlos, like 6 episodes, right? It's short.
Carlos thought I had vitriol for Black Widow. No, that dear Carlos, that wasn't vitriol. If I start talking about this series, it would take up the entire rest of this podcast.
Damn.
I don't want to do that. It is trash. It sucks. It is awful. It's like everything wrong with storytelling is in that series. First of all, it obviously was supposed to be a movie that either Netflix or Capcom, I don't know who decided to chop it up so it was 4 episodes.
Hours, yeah. That was a 4 episodes, half-hour long episodes.
It ends in the oddest places. Like it'll just be a scene and it'll just cut to credits.
Wow.
And I'm like, this obviously was not supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be a movie, and they just chopped it up oddly to be like 23-minute episodes. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you chop it up or stitch it together. It's crap. Like Claire Redfield is just in it to have a cameo. She has nothing to do. She's in the whole freaking show, and she has nothing to do. The main bad guy is ripped off of like Resident Evil 6. It's like they ripped off other Resident Evil stories and stitched them together into this. It's like, oh, there's another evil guy in the presidential administration. And, oh, there's another virus. Ooh, wow. It's like, oh god, it's awful.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. And the fact they chopped it up just to make it artificial episodes.
Yeah,
like,
and then they're like, "Oh, we got season 2," and I'm like, "Wait, you mean you made like another movie and you're gonna cut it up again?"
Like, oh god, stop it!
Yeah.
All right, thank you for telling me. I'm not gonna watch this thing then.
Don't waste your time. Like, don't like Who asked that question? Please don't waste your time. Don't waste. If you saw it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But if you
If-
didn't,
if-
don't
Go ahead,
waste your
Brett.
time.
If anybody's interested, watch Black Summer instead. That show's actually good.
Yeah. It's man, Resident Evil. I don't know something about that. The first trailer, so I'm like, I don't know about this.
Dude, Ernest Goes to Jail is better than this fucking series. All right.
Hey,
Like,
don't
Hey, I
disparage
like
Ernest to jail.
Ernest.
I like that movie. Yeah.
Let's not berate Ernest's name here, man. This is
Like,
an Ernest safe
No,
all
space.
right, like
Here it's
if you
stupid.
enjoy
It's
those movies,
questionable.
yeah, all right, it's fine if you enjoy those. Those are at least funny. Like
Yeah.
they have a more coherent story than Resident Evil. I'll tell you that.
Did they have the other Resident Evil movie that came before that one? The one with Chris Redfield.
Oh,
and,
is
Chris,
it Vendetta? What was that one?
yeah, the one with
Yes,
Chris Redfield.
the one in
and,
New York.
Leon,
Yeah.
They're like,
Oh God, that was
they have
also
a gun.
trash.
Chris has a gun kata fight with
They,
somebody in there.
they all have gun kata. Leon had gun kata. He drove a motorcycle up a building to crash into a helicopter. It was ridiculous. That oh my God, all these movies are so bad, and they have such wooden characters. Like nobody can act. And also, I don't know if they made this on the cheap, but when they walk, and I don't know what's wrong with the characters, they jitter,
Wow.
it's very noticeable. And I'm like, what the hell? I have mocap credits. I'm like, so you don't have a proper walk cycle? I don't know what's happening, but they look fucking weird. Like, and they do shaky cam and zooms and all this shit. Oh, it's just. Oh, everything that you shouldn't do with like storytelling is done in this series. Like, if you want to see, like, I want to know how to make a movie, then look at this: how not to make anything,
Yeah.
how not to write, how not to write characters,
Yeah.
how to shoot anything, stage
Damn.
anything. Like, it's just terrible.
Chris, the guys in the chat are fucking loving. They agree with you.
And it's like, oh my God, how many of these have they made? This is like the fifth
Yeah.
CG movie, right? And I mean, the Mila Jovovich movies are better than this. Like, just this is
Damn, those are trash.
yes, no, this is terrible. Like, at least like they got some sort of story. At least she looks consistent. Like, they're consistent in their trashiness, right? This movie is all this series and air quotes is all over the place. And oh my God, the worst. Oh, fucking horrible.
Oh, by the way, real quick, Kristen goes, "Why does the RE engine look better than the show?"
Oh, it does. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And like they didn't even, they used their own models. It's like the guys who make the games don't talk to the guys at Capcom that are working on this. And you should have seen the Japanese names in the credits. It's like, oh, director, some Japanese dude from Capcom, producer, exec. I'm like, you motherfuckers are working at Capcom. You looked at this shit and you went, this is great. You saw this shit after you released Village and the RE2 remake or whatever, and you saw those models. They didn't even use the same voice actors. They just used randos this time. And the models look terrible. Like, Claire looks like she got hit with a shovel. She looks like she's Robert Pattinson's sister. What is happening?
Oh God, that's hilarious. This is a great review. All right, let's move on.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, just avoid it. Fuck that shit. All right, where are we right now? Chackzilla. All right, can you recommend some lesser known last gen games that had great stories? He goes, there's not much coming out in July, so I'm looking forward something to fill the void. So some last gen games that may have been overlooked that had really good stories.
It's funny because I keep thinking about last gen.
Pedro.
I keep on thinking the last gen being PlayStation 3.
No. This is,
No, it's
PS4.
It's not.
Oh, didn't we answer something like this last week? And
Something
I said
close
a
to
great underrated game was Titanfall 2. That was my answer.
Yeah, and the story was great for that.
That's a great one.
Yes, if you haven't played that, play for sure. Play it, and I think it's cheap, right?
Yeah, it is.
Play that game.
Oh yeah. Titanfall 2 definitely for sure. So yeah, I guess it's kind of a similar question. It's just last gen specifically, you know. Anything else? Any last gen games that you were like, hey, this game's overlooked? Hey Brett, do you still recommend Kingdoms of Amalur?
Kind of. If you like long form RPGs and don't have anything to play, it's not bad. The story's good because it's written by R.A. Salvatore. It's aged a little poorly, and it just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't seem to have the impact that even like a Fable game does. It feels the same, but it's just, you're just like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm running around killing it. It's not super grabbing.
Yeah.
I would actually say, I know you've never heard me talk about this game before. A game called Absolver.
There you go.
The game is fucking awesome. You get to build your own fighting style by kind of fighting through Dark Souls-ish levels and acquiring moves by seeing opponents use them. So it's kind of this realistic, kind of you see this, kind of backhand enough, and you kind of like, oh, I can try that, I can do that now, and then you mix it into one of your 28 different moves and in the cycle. And
But I could vouch Brett knew what he was doing in that game, because I felt like we were in a Shaw Brothers movies, and I was like the dopey side character that knew some martial arts, but I was getting my ass beat, and then Brett would like jump through and like punch, and lightning would come out of his hands, and like three guys would go flying into the wall like that. Like it was like that.
yeah, you want to play what goes on in your head when you hear the movie Kung Fu, hear the song Kung Fu Fighting. Play that game.
There you go. All right. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
It's not the most traditional type of storytelling, but I feel like Inside has a pretty interesting story, just in its own way. It's a small kind of indie type game, but it's really good. It's maybe not the most underrated game. I think it's underrated in the way that people don't normally talk about it, and people don't normally
Inside
praise it as
the Limbo people, right?
Yes.
Oh
it's the
yeah.
Limbo people.
By the way, this is me saying this about an indie game. You got to play this shit, yo, because that ending, and not just the ending. I'm talking about like the last part of the game. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, yo.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
But you're right though. It's like it's not a traditional type of narrative story, but there's a story in there.
Yeah, and it's and it's praised in a certain way, but it's not overly praised.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So I would say that's a good play. It doesn't even take that long.
Yeah, you can crank it out in the afternoon, which is always nice.
World War Z, that was another fun one. The story was pretty cool. You jumped around different locations with everything going on, and it was like Left 4 Dead. So if you like that gameplay with a story, that was fun.
Funny thing about World War Z, because everybody kind of, before it came out, everybody dismissed it. The game went out to be super popular.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
the movie was trash.
And people are linking it with the movie when it's not like that at all. They just got the rights, and they're like, well, we got the name, so we might as well use it. But the game was awesome.
Yeah. All right. I don't think Days Gone counts. That game's very high profile.
Shit, if you throw that, then you might as well throw the Division in there.
Yeah. Right.
Hey,
yeah.
you guys, have you guys heard of a game called Skyrim?
Nope.
Yeah. Never. What?
Nope. I think that came out on Super NES, and that was it.
Played that on my fridge.
Oh, the fridge. Okay. You got a Samsung.
All right. Move on.
Well, I haven't said it.
Oh, you haven't? I thought you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Right. Underrated titles, I would say Mad Max, the video game.
Oh, there you go.
It had the misfortune of being released right on the same day that fucking Metal Gear Solid 5 was released.
Yeah, bad move.
And it's made by the same guys that made Just Cause.
Yeah, just the Blizzard Avalanche,
and it's a pretty good, well done game, and I think it's underrated. Also, I will always say Gravity Rush is an underrated game.
Yes. Cool story too.
It's like Gravity Rush and you can play both Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush 2 on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, because he's looking more for a little bit more narrative kind of games. So yeah.
Yeah, those
they count.
Max Payne was fun. If you want to go that.
Well, no, that's PS3 era. So
was it that far back?
Yeah,
it was. That's PS3 era. Yeah.
Damn. Like the reboot.
Yeah, the reboot of it. So Mad Max and Gravity Rush, and then. I mean, I can't say near Automata because people like that a lot.
Yeah,
so,
that's not underrated at all.
That's not an underrated game at all. But I can definitely see it there. I mean, I know that this is an older game, but it did get released on modern consoles. Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't come out last gen, but it did.
But it did.
Yeah, it did get remastered.
They did a definitive,
a definitive remaster of it when they got bought over by the Swedish company.
Yeah.
You know, when they became THQ Nordic.
By the way, Logic wins. He goes to Judgment. Who asked this question? It was Chakzilla. He said Judgment is the game he's currently playing, so he's looking for something after Judgment.
Like the Yakuza Judgment.
Yeah, because he said I didn't add this word, but he said he played all the Yakuza games recently. He played the Mass Effect remaster, and he's playing Judgment. And he wants to know what underrated game or overlooked game from last gen. So those are the type of games he likes. So. Even though the narrative is a strong thing, you got to have good combat and shit like that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we could. It was still. Yeah, I guess it was considered still last gen. Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, he says he played that. He played that. He really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's up, Brett?
If you're looking for an underrated narrative game, Divinity 1 and 2.
There you go.
But
there you go.
2.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
What about Greedfall? Was that a thing?
That was a good game. If you like, as a matter of fact, he liked Mass Effect Greedfall. There you go. That was last gen. And as a matter of fact, I think they upgraded for PS5. It's either they already upgraded or they will upgrade it. One of those. I actually want to go back to it myself because the game was it's like a industrial era / colonial like Age of Exploration type of game. I'm like, this is cool. But Bioware doesn't make those kind of games anymore. Mass Effect Andromeda don't count.
There you go. That Star Wars game that we were talking about before. That was last gen.
But that wasn't overlooked. That game sold very, very well.
Yeah. Well, it's Star Wars.
Yeah, so you can't overlook a Star Wars game. Although people didn't like that. I think it was Rogue Squadron game that came out recently.
Oh, Squadron! It was just flight. If you're into flight sims, then go for it. But it wasn't even simmy. It was bullshit. So a lot of people didn't like it.
Ooh, there we go. Geek Epic User says Greedfall patch came out last week. So there you go. He goes, it runs much better. Because that was one thing. Because I reviewed the game. I thought the game was fantastic, but it did have some issues, like stuttering issues. I kind of dismissed it because it was like 20 guys made the game. So I'm like, I'll let that slide. Like literally 20 guys made the game.
It was like 20 guys made the game. Yeah, I'll excuse a couple of glitches. Now 100,000, like 100 or 200 people, Cyberpunk, you can't forgive that one.
Yeah, they don't have 200 people. They had like 1,000 people probably.
They had 1,000 people on that game. Oh yeah.
I remember the first time I really came to notice was with Assassin's Creed Revelations. Even though I didn't suffer too many hiccups, Manny had a bunch of them. You know how many people were on that?
God.
You know how many people were on that altogether, Manny? 800.
800 people, and they couldn't get that game to run fucking good. On my PlayStation.
Motherfuckers.
Why didn't they test it on my PlayStation?
My PlayStation? All right, moving on here. This one's... before we move on.
Whoa.
This is very interesting. He also had a comment to say to me. But it's to all of us, man. It's because, we're a unit here. Thanks for keeping the podcast rumor free. I get caught up in listening to other shows, but you set me straight with the rants. Much love. Thank you, brother. That's what we try to do around here, man. I went off on... Yeah, go ahead.
The thing about it is that it's so easy to get caught up in all the rumors and speculation and all that stuff. I mean, there's things that we all would love to see and announcements we all would love to happen. But at the same time, if there's no evidence, why should we harp on that?
That's why we got all this Switch hate. That's why everybody was pissed off with this whole thing. Because they're like, oh, but they said this. They didn't say any of that shit. It was just the sites coming up with bullshit and spreading it, and eventually people just accepting the rumors as facts.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody in the chat right now giving us praise. But yeah, listen, man.
Yeah.
There again. You heard me on the last Thursday show. I went off on a fucking rant, started yelling. But it's true. I don't listen to gaming podcasts. The only gaming podcast I'll recommend wholeheartedly is Gamertag Radio. That's like the only one, right? But most gaming podcasts are trash because of the fact that 90% of the time they're just rumors and speculation, based on nothing. I hate that shit, and my thing, here's my secret for Throwdown. You know how I make the show run the way it does? I just think to myself, what kind of gaming podcast do I want to listen to? That's how I made Throwdown. This is the kind of shit I want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? So when I listen to these guys, it's like, oh, this is just trash. Like, oh, they're gonna, wouldn't it be cool if they had this? Wouldn't it be cool if they had that? Oh, I think they're gonna do this. I think they're gonna do that. Based on nothing. It doesn't serve the listeners. It is pure drivel, And this is why, and I'm glad you guys put up with my bullshit sometimes. I'm talking about the fans right now. When I get mad, when I get these type of questions, like, what would happen if this company bought this company? I'm sorry, it's a dumb type of question. Who cares? It's like these speculative type of things, But even though I know you motherfuckers do that shit to get me mad. I know you do that shit to get me mad sometimes, but yeah, it's too much.
That fire.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what would happen if this company left the gaming industry?
Another one to fill his place.
But here's the thing: we on here would not entertain a question like that. Other podcasts would. They'll do a whole hour and a half, on dumb shit like that. And that's right, Blitz. A lot of gaming news I'm talking about from actual real sites are based on bullshit. Let's talk about this rumor now. It's crazy.
The clicks. They get the clicks.
That's the problem with it. It sort of gets that. It gets the clicks. It gets people to come onto their site when there is absolutely no evidence. They just say, "Oh, there's a rumor."
Yeah,
and I've been saying now is
they flash some guy who made an educated guess and was only right half the time.
I can say a name right now. They said it in the chat, but I'm not going to. You know who I'm talking about. A certain somebody that's gotten very big in the last 2 years, just saying all this stuff, and these sites are just running with it because he said it, even though he's been wrong half the time. If you're wrong half the time, means you're either going to be right or wrong. So it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but that's what's going on with gaming. And I am saying this as a person because I don't cover news anymore. Thankfully, I just do my reviews and previews, and that's it. But when I cover news, I had to cover a lot of dumb bullshit because it got clicks. Oh my god, let me tell you guys a story. You remember the Switch controller rumors? Remember that shit? They leaked the Switch controller and it would look like a Vita, right? I covered this whole fucking thing from beginning to end. It turned out to be false. Like the whole thing was just fabricated bullshit. I had to cover the whole thing because it brought hits. But at the end of it, I got to take all those stories I made and made a giant post like, here's the journey of how we were all duped.
Mm-hmm.
But gaming. And think about it. This is why this blue box shit blew up. Because motherfuckers are bored, and the gaming industry thrives on rumors and speculation. So this thing's going on, and I guarantee you. And again, I don't know who I'm going to blame here. The fans, because the fans are going to retaliate when this shit is not Silent Hill, or Blue Box, because I've seen their tweets. Yeah, they were kind of leaning into that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I just went off on a mega rant right now, but it is what it is, man. Throw down. All right.
Throw down.
Fuck are we answering right now? All right. Dumeke, who's been with us all night. This one is based on our recent streams of Halo. Me and Carlos specifically, we finished Halo 3 yesterday. You finished the fight for the second time.
I finished that and got wouldn't be the platinum, but it's got all the skulls because I did on Legendary.
Yeah.
To get all those skulls.
Even though the questions specifically for me and Carlos, I'm just going to ask it for everybody because it's pertinent. Do you feel that the Halo series holds up or that it deserves its legendary status? And second to that, is there another series that is held up that you feel isn't worthy of the praise it gets, or isn't? I'll go first because then this is I've never played a Halo games. I played a little bit of the first Halo back in the day in 2001 with Evil Chris, as we call him, but it was frustrating because I was like, you got to control the character with 2 thumbsticks? What? This doesn't make any sense. And plus he had it on like ultra hardcore difficulty, so we're in the same room over and over and over and over and killing the same dudes. I'm like, all right, this is dumb. Stop this shit. But because of Halo, I didn't touch a single first-person shooting game for like till 2011, I think. Like, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not controlling characters like that. But the problem is, since every game became a first-person shooting game, I had no choice but to adapt. And and ironically enough, it was Destiny that really forged me in fire. Like, I had to learn because I had to play against other people. So then I became really good at first person shooters. But ironically, because when I played the first Halo back in the day, I was like, this is too much. Like, there's too much going on in this controller here. There's too much to remember. This is too complicated. Then when I play Halo 1 in modern Tony, I'm like, damn, this shit is simple. Where's my sprinting? Where's my lock on? Like, where's my grabbing? Like, all the shit I'm expecting it to be in there is not in there. So it's like, I thought it was complicated back in 2001. Now in like modern times, it's a simple shooter. Like, again, there's no aim down scopes. You can't like wall vault. You can't crouch. You can't do any of that shit. But I thought it was fantastic. As you guys saw, the streams are all there for posterity. I thought Halo 1, 2, and 3 were great. Definitely show their age, but I also like the fact that even though I had never played these games, they took me back to that time. It's like, oh, this is where things came from. This is dope. So yeah, and I think because of what Halo has done, even though I didn't like the double twin stick things, that was a revolution for first person shooters on console. Because before then, console gaming, and first person shooting console gaming was clunky as shit. Yeah, I know you guys like GoldenEye or whatever, but that was not intuitive. But Halo is what made the shit click, and we had the big wave of first person shooters so much that for years it was always like, can you make a Halo killer? Everybody tried to make the Halo killer for years, right? Until, ironically enough, one game came out that wasn't even trying to be a Halo killer, and it killed Halo. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, But yeah, Halo, it will always have that spot in gaming legend. So yeah, it's definitely lived up to it for sure. Again, if you're playing just on a purely gameplay thing, yes, it's a little bit clunky sometimes, especially that first one. You got to like run around the same level over and over and over and over again and shit like that. But it's still good. It still has that epic feel to it. Again, if you're a guy my age, it takes you back to that era of gaming, which is always really cool. Brett, I want you to go next, 'cause I know you really love the Halo series, especially the first couple of them. So go ahead.
Okay, well, I think it's kind of hard to talk about Halo without separating the fact that it was kind of the first one to do your modern big control scheme. And the problem with games that set a standard is that when you go back to revisit them, it's the standard. And so it doesn't really feel quite as special anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because of all the upgrades and changes we've seen.
Yeah, like I said, I was like, when I played Halo, I'm like, oh, there's missing a bunch of shit. But at the same time, I still appreciate. I'm like, oh, this is where all this shit came from,
Yeah. So beyond that, I think it does hold up. It's still very intuitive, obviously, because it uses our now standard control scheme. But the story was really cool.
Yeah.
And for a fast-paced shooter action game to get a story that's actually that solid didn't really happen all that much. It's most of the time you play these things for the shooting, and you're like, I don't fucking care, get me to the next place. With Halo, you're like, you kind of go into it like that, and then by the third level, you're like, man, I fucking care. What the fuck is going on? Who are these motherfuckers? Everybody died. It's my ring. So yeah, it's fun. It's intuitive. It's a good story. The graphics, I think they kind of hold up in a weird way. They don't look realistic like they used to, but they kind of have a weird, charming puppet quality.
The first two games got remade, so they definitely got a spec bump.
Oh, dope. Okay, well there you go then.
What's it? You can press the select button, and then you can revert back to how it used to look. And they did that live on the fly switch. That was really cool.
Tony was trying to do that on Halo 3, and I'm like, no, not Halo 3 didn't get a facelift. That one stayed the same. And it still kind of held up.
Yeah, no, but even nowadays, right? You play that, especially if you're a science fiction nerd. You play that first level. You step out into the land, and you see this fucking Niven ring just going off into the horizon. Like, oh shit,
dude,
this is
the presentation
dope.
Of that game.
Yeah,
it feels larger than life, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
like that shit is crazy.
And it's satisfying. Like, another weird thing that some shooters don't really get is they have this kind of bullet spongy feel. Halo has always been. It felt like it took about the right amount of shots to destroy just about everything, and everything. It always felt good and fun. Like, it was satisfying. As other games come on, you start to worry about the gun weight and everything like that. But it just something about the quickness and the snappiness of it. It was genuinely fun, and I think. I've said it before and I'll say it again, that's something that's not necessarily focused on in video games these days. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they make entire video games without ever considering whether or not what they're doing is actually fun. Last of Us, sorry.
Yeah, where's Ryan?
It's all these things. It's pretty much everything but good looking at this point. So yeah, man, I think it holds up as long as you're not just a complete fidelity nerd, and even then,
you got the remasters now. Yeah, but again, the controls are so good, man. Even till this day, they feel smooth. There's no clunkiness at all.
Right. It just feels like they cared about every little thing, like how quick you pivot, how heavy your footsteps feel, how fast you're moving, how quickly it takes to reload for bullets to come out versus how many hits that takes to have an enemy go down. It feels like they're just focused on all the little things. So it's less than you normally get, but it's all still really good quality. And you can kind of almost argue that they don't make them like that these days.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Chris, Halo. I know you're a big Halo guy as well. We're gonna get to you, Carlos. Don't worry, man. We'll get to you.
Yeah, I mean, Halo started all of that. I mean, first-person shooters weren't viable on consoles before it came out. Like I now I'm not as much of a PC gamer. I barely play anything on PC. I need to buy a new one, but that's either here or there. But back in college, I played all the time on PC. I never brought my consoles up to college. I just had my PC, so I played Half-Life. I played Counter-Strike online. Back then, I mean, Counter-Strike is still going now. But the idea of not playing with a keyboard and mouse, to me, with a controller, I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. Like playing Quake 2, playing Capture the Flag, playing Unreal Tournament. I did all that on PC, so I didn't think that was possible. And Halo came along, like, wow, this is great. Not only that, the theme was great.
Yeah.
You like the character. It's like, he has the Spider-Man effect. It's you in the armor, right? You don't see his face, and the whole grand story. It's like, well, it's like this war, and then there's aliens, but then there's this flood shit, and there's this mystery with the Halo and all this stuff. That was great. And I played through all of them, but by the time I got to Reach was like the chef's kiss for me. I played that shit daily. Like the multiplayer, I played that constantly. Like I played Halo 2 multiplayer, Halo 3. But Reach, I don't know what it was. It was like crack. I thought like it just peaked right there for me. That's why 4 was kind of downhill. I didn't even touch 5.
Oh man, yeah, that was like a lot of people could say that. It's like after Reach, it was like,
Yeah, well, Reach was the last Bungie game.
no,
So
Man, but it was so good. It was so good. You know?
Halo Reach.
all right, Carlos, man, you're Mr. Halo.
Yeah, man,
So it's for you. Like, what has it been like replaying these games, man?
it's just been nostalgic. It's I've all of these games. I hardly ever replay games, and the Halo ones I played. I think I beat them more than once, most of them, but I did that like the same year they came out. So I haven't played the Halo 3 campaign since 2007 when it came out. So it's been what, 14 years?
Yeah.
It's a long ass time, man. I was still a teenager back then. It's it's just, man, it's great going back into the game, and it's like it holds up. The game definitely holds up, and you see how much it's influenced. And we only experienced one portion of the game. We experienced the campaign, which is great. But the game not only revolutionized campaigns for first person shooters on the consoles, it also revolutionized the way we played multiplayer on the consoles. It had some of the best multiplayer out there, and even with Halo 3, it had Forge mode, which it introduced Forge mode, which was like only a thing that happened in PCs back in the day. And now, you were able to create your own levels and stuff and own game types and
some crazy fights. Oh man.
Yeah, you can do races. You can do a lot of stuff. That was 2007, and
well, watch that Red versus Blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember that shit? Cool. But even before that, right? Like, was it the first Halo or the second one where it pretty much the way they did things, like their online, made Xbox structure their online because of the way Halo games did it? Wasn't it something like that? Like
the lobby system.
The lobby system. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lobby
matchmaking. Even party chat, didn't that come from Halo? That wasn't in Xbox originally, right?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the Xbox original Xbox. So what we would do is we would turn on Halo 2, and this is back. I was in freaking high school. We used to get on Halo 2, get on the party chat on the lobby in Halo, and we used to like talk about a game, like what we were doing right now. We would do that in a Halo 2 lobby. And
hold on, so basically Fortnite.
If that's what they do.
No. I'm making a point here. Like, there are always those games where you kind of congregate virtually with friends. And
Is
we
that
didn't
was
have
that what
the
they
start-
do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think that's almost definitely why the Fortnites and the
I know they do that in
PUBGs.
GTA Online. That's the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
reason why. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. That's the reason these what I call activity games are generally so popular. Yeah, I just want to jump in and say, like, before we were able to congregate online, we hacked Halo to be able to do that.
Carlos. Hacking in
Well,
Halo.
that's another
XP
story.
connects. That's what I use.
Mhm.
XP connects.
I'm not here to talk about the past.
I thought we were talking about Halo, baby.
That's exactly
Carlos
what
is
we're
like, I'm
talking
not
about.
on trial here.
The statute of
Best way to
limitations
do it.
hasn't passed yet.
'Cause
I was a
You-
teenager. I was a
you-
teenager.
You could rewire the whole thing through HB Connect and have your friends and chat through that way, as
Oh,
opposed
yeah.
to using Xbox Live. That was the workaround.
That was the pirated Xbox
Yeah,
Live.
that's how I pulled it off.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've been enjoying replaying the game, and it's also pretty enjoyable watching Tony's reactions of it. And he's like, "Oh shit!" Like it gets crazy, man. And it's like the story, the epicness of the story.
Yeah, man.
is like that. We don't get that as much anymore. We're talking about how the correlations between that and Mass Effect.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, those were the types of games that we used to get back then.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah,
don't
man,
get
I've been
games
in-
like that
I've been-
anymore. It calls that music, though.
Oh, the music. Well, we're not going to talk about the musician, but the music,
Yeah.
man, that's epic as fuck, man. That's like every time the music starts kicking in and changes and stuff, and it's like, oh, something's about to happen.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
It's good, man.
Yeah, Halo.
And we're
Yeah.
gonna keep playing it. We're gonna play through Halo 4 and Halo 5. Those are the 343 games.
Yeah. We will do Reach
I
as
just
well
wanna see-
if we can sneak it in there, you know?
If we can sneak it in, we'll do it. I
You
just
guys
want to
missed
see.
them.
What
I mean,
happened?
you're kind of talking about it, but you didn't talk about it. You guys are playing through the whole campaign co-op.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a thing that certainly isn't common now, but wasn't even super common back then.
This is
So
true.
to be able to just sit down
Yeah.
with a buddy, if you had 4 people, sure, let's all play versus. If you just had one friend and you're just hanging out, then you could co-op the whole story. And honestly, that's where most of my favorite Halo memories come from.
For me,
Yeah,
it was,
I mean,
the Ghost Recon's did also. That was the only other one. And I
Well,
remember-
yeah, because
Ghost
back then,
Recon
you know,
and also-
it was split screen too, Halo, you know?
and then Gears.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Halo 2 did split screen co-op, and then Halo 3 did 4-player multiplayer. I think 4-player multiplayer co-op, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it started going all 4-player until the most recent ones.
Also, got to give a shout out to Splinter Cell Chaos Theory that did that in 2004.
Oh, shit.
They're ahead of their time too. You man, shout out to Splinter Cell. What the hell are they?
Yeah,
Ubisoft,
it was
man.
Ubisoft fucking it up.
It was a whole Ubisoft for all the shit they were doing with their games.
They're working on one somewhere deep in the labs.
Yeah, it's probably going to be for mobile, you know?
Oh, damn
Oh.
it, Tony! I was trying to have some hope.
I'm just telling you, they're going to give us that. They're going to give us what we want, but not in the form we want it, you know? All right, yeah, Halo. It's good stuff. Any last thoughts, Manny, Adam, anything you say about Halo?
I mean, for me, I've never actually played the Halo games. I actually watched Chris or Adam play it more than I have. I mean, I always had respect for the series, but it was never my sort of bag as far as games go. But I do respect the story, and it could just as easily just been like a dopey shooter type of game, but it has a very interesting sort of story, and then obviously the music, and and how awesome is Master Chief's voice? I need a weapon.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It's fun to play. It was fun to play with friends. That was my party game with my buddies on Xbox. It was like, all right, what do you want to play? Oh, we'll jump into Halo and do some stuff. Whether it's a multiplayer or the campaign and do that. But I was pretty much all with on PC before Call of Duty. Oh no! Oh my God, I'm blanking on the name.
Uh-oh.
But it was when the team left and to do. A lot of people left from Call of Duty to. Oh fuck! Now they started Call of Duty.
Infinity Ward?
No,
Infinity Ward, right?
No. That's the studio, but the game that they left. Oh my God! That's the only one I really played first person.
What, Medal of
shooter on
Honor?
PC. Medal of Honor. The Medal of Honor series. Yes.
Wow, remember
So
that shit?
Yeah, that was my go-to for first person. And then I played some Halo and stuff. But then when Call of Duty started coming out on console, I remember the 360 scene when they did the remaster. Before they called it remaster, it was just redoing the Normandy, the beach, and all that on the 360. And I was like, shit, this felt great. The controls, everything. I found it very hard to really enjoy myself in Halo after having that experience. Because the way the guns felt, and then just the controls, the running, and then like you said, with the scope and doing all that, you didn't have that in Halo, and so it just unless my buddies were playing, I wasn't feeling for it. And even now, it's like I went halfway through 4 and a little bit into 5, and that was it. But that's what it is.
Yeah. All right. So there you go, Halo. Move on to the next question here. Actually, do I have it set up? Give me a second here. No, I don't have it set up. Give me a quick second. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now joining us, talking about them video
Medal
games.
of Honor, man.
Yo, Adam used to have Halo parties?
But not at local LAN parties, Halo ones?
Yeah.
No. I did have mod parties, but I did not have
Thanks
Halo.
for inviting me.
Yes. Manny's been to those. I think he was at one of them.
I was at one of those. So,
People would come over and we just do all that.
Manny, you remember Julio?
Yeah, man. Hey, you got.
You remember Gustavo? You
gotta realize most of the stories that Adam tells. I'm usually there.
He's there, or he knows the people involved.
Yeah.
So.
Yo, man, you remember Jamal?
Well, we do know a guy named
I know.
Jamal, you've actually met him.
I probably have, yeah. Oh man.
He's doing the comic. He does a bunch of cosplay now. That's his deal.
Yeah.
I met him at Comic-Con, didn't I?
Yep. He was dressed up as he was Star Killer one year. Dude is bald like
I think
like platforms and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
He's already a tall guy.
Yeah, he's like I'm 6'2", he's like taller than me, like maybe 6'4", 6'3", and then he plays characters like the one time he was Lex Luthor.
Oh,
he
nice.
was dressed up as Lex Luthor, did the whole suit up and everything.
Bouncer.
Who was that?
He was a bouncer at clubs. That was his job, his day job. Mm-hmm. What you say, night job?
All right.
Yeah, for fun little thing for you guys. If you ever look for Striking Star Entertainment, look for the film Biofreak.
There you go.
Yeah. Biofreak, or as it's called, Biofreak Origins. It's on YouTube. You'll see
it's your starring role, right? Or not you?
I'm in the movie like 3 different times, playing 3 different roles. I get killed by a monster. I'm a scientist. I'm a bunch of characters, and Adam's in it too.
Hey,
so,
do you remember when the cops? Somebody called the cops on us in the street.
Oh no, well that was a different one.
What was that? We were doing something.
We were doing a ninja movie.
In the Bronx,
in the
at
Bronx,
like 2 or 3 in the morning. We were stupid. I don't know because remember we did a whole fight scene in the lobby of one of the project buildings here.
Yep.
And somebody saw this and called the cops. They were like, "Oh, there's a gang fight," and the cops showed up.
Yeah. It's hilarious because it was a gang fight, but yet no, we look like a bunch of fucking ninjas. Like I'm like all covered up like a ninja. Adam looks like something. Fucking Jamal looks like a Grim Reaper with his face all painted white and shit. So
and the cops showed up, and I remember what he said was like, "Do you guys have a permit for this?" I'm like, "Permit? No. It's 3 in the morning in the hood. Why would you need a permit for this shit?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, you got to stop. And then that was it. Party was over. Damn.
But we got a lot of footage.
Crazy.
It's hilarious.
It's funny.
All right, man. Let's move on. Good stuff there.
Indie movies, guys.
Yeah, indie movies. Indie movies. Right. All right, man. Next question. Who do we have? Oh, this one's interesting. So, very generous man. Sounds familiar. E-Man.
Whoa. Who that?
Who that? I don't know who that is. Very generous guy.
Who that?
Yeah, right. Who is E-Man? He recently got a haircut. Looks like himself again.
Yep.
He don't look like Brian Crescente anymore.
I haven't posted that. I don't think I posted that picture on.
No, you haven't posted on Twitter.
You should grow it out and look like the guy from.
No, he grew it out already. It was long.
I did grow it out. I was just keeping it back, but I took one photo of it down.
He didn't get. Go ahead, Manny.
It's in the in the text.
Yeah, Manny. Yeah.
No, I saw you cut it. I just don't remember. I didn't know that you had it grown out because you always had the back or something.
Manny, you said that the Dominican guy didn't make you look Dominican this time, right?
Yeah, because there's not. Let's just say I live in Pennsylvania. There's not a lot of Hispanic people here. The most you'll find is Mexicans, general, right?
Oh,
So I just say, but there's a Dominican place that does haircuts down the street from me, and when I go there, they will like you will end up with a Dominican cut. They will cut your beard like the
Are you
like how
wearing
they
shorts?
do. No, I wasn't wearing
Because
shorts.
if you wear shorts and if they see that you're wearing socks, they won't cut your hair. They're like,
No,
what?
no, it
Socks?
wasn't. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
no, man,
wearing shorts.
explain how they cut everything.
Oh no, you know how the Dominican cut is, where it's like the perfect like they did it on my hair here.
Yeah.
If you look at the side, they trimmed up did my lines and shit. They do up all your beard like that, and so this time around they didn't do it. But you know, usually when I go there, I come off. They give me the Dominican cut.
Right. So E-Man is sponsoring Tu Meques. What you got, Adam? You got a Dominican cut too?
I do a 1.5 in the bathroom. I just go with a buzzer.
Zzz. There
As
you
if
go.
I just got out of prison, you know, like cutting my kids and walking. What are you doing? They got a little razor. I'm like,
Yeah, that's it. All right, so the question, this is sponsoring to make is a bonus question here. What are some of your favorite all-time game or console packaging, artwork, design, that type of stuff?
oh, I got a
that's
good one.
that's
I got an easy one.
yeah, that's a hard one. Go Adam, go.
Mine just probably here. Show and tell.
Oh shit, let's go. It's the visual aid guide.
he's a visual aid guide.
Adam just stepped off the. He's back.
Gears. Look at this.
What is that? Explain that to the people listening.
Oh, it's the
Was it
gear.
gear? Was it
This
gear?
is Gears of War. This was the. Damn, I remember it was like 3.
Is that's the gears
This
that you
one-
It's a
collect in the
gear
game,
of
right?
war.
It's
Yeah.
because of all the don't all the gears actually have dog tag shaped like gears.
Yeah, and this one actually came with like.
Is
nice
it
case.
the
It's a big ass metal cog.
Yeah,
And
and
this
it's
had a
his
Adam
Phoenix's
Phoenix.
father, Adam
Yeah,
Phoenix, right?
yeah,
I have
and-
that too. I have
Yeah,
the Gears of
and
War 3
inscribed-
collector's edition.
Yeah, it's cool. And then inscribed on it is the code to use to unlock him and make him a playable character in the multiplayer. But man, this I love it. That's why I still have it out. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful case, and it's heavy metal. It's not plastic. It's not cheesy like what they did with Dead Space 2 with that bullshit freaking
Oh,
gun. Oh my god!
oh
What a
god, the
scam.
plasma cutter
The plasma
made for a
cutter.
3-year-old.
They
It's like
hyped
tiny.
it up like this was. I was like, yes, I understand it isn't a real plasma cutter. They weren't gonna give, but I thought it was gonna be at least some kind of toy with some weight. That shit was thin plastic. It looked like it just came out of a Cracker Jack box. It was disgusting. But this is. I mean, this piece I can use as a paperweight. It's really heavy. This metal cog. Oh, I love it.
There you go. All right. Packaging. This is more for design though. That's a swag thing, but it's dope, so I'll allow it.
Yeah,
It's packaging, but it's still. This is the game's in
Well,
it. It
well,
comes with the game.
he's talking about the actual cover, but you know,
That cover, that's his artwork.
Yeah, well, that's what he's
Well,
asking
that's what
about.
he's asking. That's why.
I thought
That's
you
why.
wanted you said swag thing.
No, he didn't
the
say
whole
swag.
package
I said
thing.
art
You
and
said it.
packaging.
Well,
I said-
packaging.
Art packaging.
I mean, that does have nice packaging. So
Yeah, so that's why
it.
he'll allow it.
yeah, I said I'll allow it. It's cool, Adam. All right, Manny, go ahead.
Wow. I mean, I have to say, you know, the at least the illustrated covers to the Metal Gear games. I would say probably Metal Gear Solid 2 had a pretty good one, which was the the kind of red cover that he had. But then even the special. Is that Carlos dropping out?
Uh-oh. Well, he said
Well,
he might.
he has a storm.
Yeah, storms in
Yeah.
El Paso right now. Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say that the Metal Gear cover for 2 I thought was pretty cool, where it's just like the big shot of Snake. Because again, it's like it got to a point where they stopped illustrating covers to video games, and I kind of missed that sort of stuff, especially from back in the day when you got Atari games or like even all the Nintendo games back when the graphics looked like shit, and you had to kind of sort of use your imagination on that stuff. But yeah, Metal Gear 2. Subsistence for Metal Gear Solid 3 had a good one. Let's see what else. I liked the Gravity Rush covers because there was nice, fun illustrated covers. Let's see. I don't like any of the covers. A lot of the covers that had what is it? Just CG art on them. Yeah, I'm having trouble thinking of stuff. I
Yeah,
think
so
the
am
ultimate,
I can't think of any, to be
I
honest.
like the alternate covers of the interior covers that they've been putting in now, because now they've been putting the actual cool cover on the inside. And Tony, you just realized
Yeah,
one.
the
Which
God of
one?
War one, because
Yep.
I was like I have no idea.
Yeah, because the God of War actually for like most modern most PlayStation 4 games actually have reversible covers with
Let me
actual
try some.
illustrated
Let me
covers.
try some because I think because I get because it's in my background. I don't know how I could show that to the people. My computer background. There's a way I could do that, but I forgot how to
Oh, you
do it.
could share screen.
Share screen, share
Oh no,
desktop, but you might
yeah.
have other things on there.
Yeah. No, it's not that. Because I used to accidentally show my screen off before. It's like, oh shit,
Mhm.
you know. Actually, wait, what am I talking about? Here we go. There you go. That's my background.
I don't
That's
see it.
no, you guys don't see it, but the fans do. You know.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
hold on, real quick.
Okay.
Let me take
Wow,
these
that's a
buildings
great
off.
looking background. Look at that.
So right now,
there.
and I gotta explain it to you guys in this show. This is the alternate cover to God of War. I had no idea this was a thing at all because I just had it digitally. I had no. This is dope. It reminds me of Doom. Remember where what's his face is fighting all the demons and shit. You know.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the older covers have been a lot better because they used to use painted covers.
Yeah.
Doom is one. Doom by the Doom covers by Boris Vallejo.
Yeah.
Is
Is that Boris that did those?
Yes,
Oh,
Boris.
shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I'm not used to
they
seeing
were
that. Usually
cover.
from Boris, it's usually hot girls. You know.
Well, you know what it is with him and like Frazetta, it's either hot barbarian women,
Yeah.
or if it's like buff dudes.
Buff dudes. Yeah.
And Doom is kind of that. He's got his arms are all out and everything. you
Yeah.
know.
So yeah, I like that one. But in general, yeah, a lot of modern packaging is
Yeah,
bad.
I'm not a
It's
big fan.
bad.
I'm not a big fan of a lot of the packaging in this case because they're doing the lower hanging fruit. What is that? That's putting a guy's head on the cover, and he usually has a bit of a beard and short hair. You know, it looks like Adam.
They put Adam on the cover.
Adam's every modern cover these days.
There we go. Keep it simple.
I still remember when Doom 2016 came out, right? What they did was they took logos from different games and slapped it on there, and it worked every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So that lets you know right there. And the crazy thing is, like, from a marketing standpoint, it kind of makes sense because, like, when you go into a store, you are drawn to faces. So they just throw faces in games because you
in general, as human beings, we react to faces. So part of the reason why you will see, like, if you've noticed, like when they re-release kids movies, they all of a sudden just release them with a giant face on them.
Yeah,
because that's the most recognizable thing. You could see that from a distance, right? And then people just react to faces, but then it ends up being that the covers and wind up not being very interesting because it's just the same sort of formulas kind of repeated over and over and over again. How many times have you seen the guy facing the camera, facing away from the camera and his back is showing it and there's a big something in the distance?
Yeah, a bunch of guns
React
everywhere.
to big guns. That's what
giant
gets me.
guns.
Yes, I react to big guns. Pointing at whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Just point to a big gun.
One of the Resistance ones had a really, really cool cover. I think it was Resistance 2 or 3.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris, you have anything memorable gaming packaging?
I just remember the Atari 2600 boxes used to have painted covers, like you'd see Missile Command or Yar's Revenge or all those
3,
games.
Manny. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and they were all painted. They're all beautiful, like paintings. I mean, the games were trash.
Oh yeah, then you play the game and you're like, this is garbage. Let's look at that box again.
Yeah, you're just a bunch of squares, and you look at this box, and it's like, fucking look like Norman Rockwell. This shit look like fucking great.
You know what's funny? There's like a direct correlation. It's like when game covers look their best, that's when the games look their worst. Now, when game covers look their worst, the games look their best. You know?
Yeah, it's funny about that because like even the NES boxes, like they were kind of cheap. The games were way better, right?
Oh, yeah.
Look at the Mario boxes. The box for Super Mario Brothers was literally a picture of Jumpman blowing up, right?
Yeah,
it's just Mario blowing up. You look pixelated and shitty. Well, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Or
It's
painting.
just a guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's just a
doing a kung fu kick. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, that's it. That's fine.
Or the thing they did where they would take a freeze frame from an action movie and paint over it. Konami did that. Metal Gear was a paint over of what's his name, Michael Biehn,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
then
Yeah.
Contra was Arnold and
And Sylvester Stallone, right?
Stallone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, it's not Sylvester Stallone. You know who it actually is?
Who?
No.
It's Billy.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's both Predator.
They're both Predator,
It's
yeah.
both Predator.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's actually Billy.
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 All right, I didn't know that. I just
no,
thought
no,
it was
that's
Became
what-
like a senator or something like that.
Yeah, it's
The actor.
people see like like it's that side shot, but it's actually not Stallone. It's actually Billy.
It's Billy.
But Billy does look sort of like Stallone,
like Rambo. Yeah.
Rambo in that
Yeah.
movie.
He should have had a bigger role in that movie. That pissed me off the way they just took him out so soon. I was expecting him to do some crazy Native American jungle warfare tactic. Like, oh, I want to see some fight with it. That big ass knife he had. Remember on the bridge?
Yeah.
It should have been a fight. Show us a fight. Instead, we just hear him screaming.
Yeah,
Well, that's to show you the power of the Predator.
Yeah,
Even
you can
Billy
beat up
can.
Billy.
Yeah, even Billy can do nothing, man. You know.
R.I.P.
All right, Brett. Memorable cat packaging.
Does it count if it's in a bad way?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
yeah, sure. If you
Mega
like
Man packaging. Holy fuck.
Oh, the Capcom covers. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, those are brutal.
There's actually a story behind that too. Why those covers were so horrible, but apparently, whoever was handling the stuff at Capcom USA just knew somebody, just got their buddy a job. That's all it really was. It's like, oh, hey, we need an artist for this. I know somebody, and they literally just got like a friend of theirs who knew how to draw to do those covers.
Wow.
I'm like, that's how fucking no rules positive the fucking game industry was at those times.
Oh yeah, back then, yeah. It's true because like the Enix games was like, look at Dragon Warrior, right? Look at
Yeah.
the cover for Dragon Warrior,
Yeah.
and then look at Dragon Quest in Japan. It's always Akira Toriyama covers, right? And the cover in Japan looks great, and our cover is like whatever. It's like, no, he doesn't look like this in the game. Nothing like this
Yeah.
looks like this cover.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird, like a sword and sorcery sort of cover, like almost like a D&D cover that we sort of got.
Yeah. Yeah, very high fantasy type of thing. It's like this isn't. I mean, it's a high fantasy game, but this is not a representation of the game at all.
No. How about what was it, Wizards and Warriors, where it looks like Fabio holding an
Yeah,
axe and
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like a barbarian, and you play the game and the guy's in armor all the time. It's like, wow, he doesn't
Yeah,
look like
right.
that at all.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, there's only a few covers that they left over from Japan, like Castlevania got left alone and Metal Gear got left alone. But I feel like with because I think in general they probably didn't have faith that cartoony or anime
That's what it
things
was,
might work
yeah.
out in the United States.
With that Metal Gear one, the NES, that guy, it looked like Connor from Terminator.
Yeah, it's Sean Bean.
That is him.
Yeah,
But
they
he looks
literally
like him
they just literally took a promo shot of Sean Bean like doing this cool pose, and
Yeah.
then they added some goofy shit on him, and they're like, oh, there we go, that's him.
Yeah, because
But then again,
like, oh.
but again, like because it was Japan, they didn't think that anybody would know anything about this, so they're just like, all right, let's rip off Predator because we want that familiarity. Let's rip off Metal Gear. I mean, excuse me, what's that thing? Terminator for this.
Yeah, Michael Bean,
So-
not Sean Bean. Sean Bean.
Sean-
yeah.
Yeah, you
Mike-
said something.
Yeah.
Michael,
By the
you
way,
said Sean Bean?
no,
Michael
Bean.
Bean.
Yeah, you said Sean Bean. I was like, hold on, you mean
Yeah, not Boromir.
Yeah, not Boromir. Yeah. Oh, by the way, see, Golden Axe. The cover is what you got in the game.
Yep.
Bunch of
Yeah.
buff people
Yeah.
and an elf beating the shit out of monsters.
I think Golden Axe 2 is Boris Vallejo again.
Yeah, the first one kind of looks like him too. If you look it up, it looks very Boris-y, that first one. Right. Anybody else packaging? Consoles.
I got another one.
Go ahead, bro.
This one, okay. So, Secret of Evermore, the packaging on that game was dope, and I'll even one up on that is they had a game commercial like 1995 that was all animated and was dope as fuck. Didn't show you a whole lot of the game. I think it may have showed you a little bit, but that's just an extension of, hey, we're gonna show you shit other than the game. But the game ended up being awesome. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm looking
Secret
at the
of
cover
Evermore
now. It's
had
like
that-
this monster.
he has this weird monster.
It looks
in
like
the
a
dog.
giant red ant or
Yeah.
something on the.
It's funny because that's a boss in the game. It looks just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's like this giant. It looks like a giant fucking lanternfish.
Yeah,
Looking
that is
motherfucker.
creepy, man. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. They're actually showing a actual boss shot too. Yeah, dope stuff, man. All right. Oh, by the way, I almost skipped a question here, also from Toolmaker, so we'll go back a little bit. The question is, if you could, this feels like correct me if we answer this, because this feels familiar. If you could take any studio's game engine and apply it to another studio's IP, which one and why? For example, id Tech for Halo, Decima for Fallout, and Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, we did this.
I think we did this.
Something similar.
Okay, we did this.
this.
All right, so we'll skip it. We did this already. And I then we were usually like, hey, you don't need to do that. No, we gave someone. I think.
No, we gave some.
Yeah, we gave some. We gave some. All right, give me a second here. Let me set up the next one. Yeah, I think. Listen, man, you're kind of related. If Halo Infinite doesn't hit, give the franchise to id. Give the franchise to id.
I mean, to be honest, like, you know, if you want to, if you're talking to making a fun ass game, whatever they did on that new game, they've really distilled what makes Doom.
Doom, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's a bunch of mechanics in that game that are not in the original game, but they feel right. You know, like the game, like especially the 2016, even though Doom Eternal is fucking awesome too. It reminded me of playing Doom. It conjured the same feelings, even though the gameplay was almost completely different, you know. But it reminded you of that frenetic, you know, that you felt playing Doom, which they fucked up with 3. It's like, yo, what do you? This is like Doom is not a horror game, you know. Like, yes, it has demons and shit, but it's supposed to be about you running through all these motherfuckers and killing them. You know, the new game's got that right.
There's a sense of empowerment to the game.
Yeah.
Even if the problem is not the problem, but the thing is that even if you die, you know, you get this. You're like, you know, all right, I'll just try it again. You know.
Good stuff. All right, let's move on here. Do I have the question ready? Yes, I do. Oh no, I skipped the wrong ones. All right, okay. Anyway, this is from Mob Hits. This one's an interesting question. Let me finish it because we already do have an answer. Maybe he just didn't. He may have forgotten about this game. So he's asking basically, you know how Mario. How Nintendo has Mario, Sega has Sonic, and he's arguing that Capcom's answer is Mega Man. So he's wondering what can Capcom do to revitalize the franchise. Capcom already did that with Mega Man 11, which we've been asking for years. Now what they need to do is make a Mega Man 12. You already, you know. Manny, what's with that screen on your side, by the way?
Oh, by the way,
what are you showing off? Or are you showing off a commercial?
It's the Secret of Evermore commercial there.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
There you go, Brett.
Yeah, that is pretty dope.
So dope.
Yeah, we got.
There's that part with the dog. That shit is crazy.
Oh, like, another dog. The dog comes out of the dog.
Yeah. So what's up with going on there?
Whoa. That's a different type of film.
Yeah, but Mega Man it's already been revived. It's just, can we do another one now? You know, Mega Man 11 was fucking great, and it's funny that game only existed because Mighty Number 9 was so horrible. You know, Capcom was hardly like
Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, seriously. You know, and it's weird because Capcom didn't want to do a Mega Man game for whatever reason, and then
Inafune.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna make my own Mega Man. The game was fucking trash. And then Capcom saw the reactions like, oh, we could do that better, and they
and they did it.
They did it. Yeah, Mega Man 11 is dope.
What's funny is that what was the non-Capcom one?
Oh, Mighty Number 9.
Mighty Number
9. There we go. Yeah, sorry, that just dropped out of my mind. Mighty Number 9 promised to give us, you know, an experience that was reminiscent of how we felt when we played the old school Mega Man games, and in a way, it did.
Yeah, because Capcom gave us a real one.
It forced Capcom to release an actual Mega Man game, which feels like a Mega Man game. So, I mean, you guys, it's like a genie's wish. You did it. Not like I thought you were going to.
Yeah,
you did it.
No, you're right. So
sometimes
thank you.
You need that kick in the ass. I mean, with the whole thing with Tony Hawk 1 and 2 coming out, and then all of a sudden after that, you got EA saying, "We're gonna bring another skate game." And it's like, well, you needed somebody because you weren't doing it. So it's like you
could
saw the
listen to
motivation.
you, Adam.
Yeah, right, motherfuckers. They need to listen to me, unban me then. You know, whatever. Well, Capcom, they should bring the Bionic Commando, the original, not that reboot shit with the Dread dude, but the original. I always thought that could have been their little mascot character too.
Well, here's the thing, and this
grapple
is
and
the
stuff.
second part of it. Capcom, to be honest, their mascot now, probably something from Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is their biggest
Oh, yeah.
franchise now.
It's like-
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's
that's not
probably the
regular
cat.
Capcom.
No,
That's
but
like-
it's still
that's like
Capcom,
Capcom's-
dude. It's still Capcom, though. You know?
I know it's still Capcom,
Yeah.
but it's always been like, you know, the redheaded stepchild part of Capcom. And
How?
Yeah, because the people that worked did Monster Hunter only did Monster Hunter. They didn't work on any other projects. And they didn't deal much with the rest of the studio.
Okay, but it's not like a third party
Nah.
studio working with Capcom. It's just
No,
still
no,
Capcom.
that's why I'm saying I understand that. I'm saying though that it's always kind of been pushed to the back. Sure, they could put it out front now, but I don't really think Capcom would do that. I think that the main studio would probably try and put forward one of its main tentpole games, and just let Monster.
But the thing is,
Hunter
Capcom
do
doesn't have a main studio. They have studios under them. There's no main.
Yeah,
it's
and
not like
the Monster Hunter team is not, is the Monster Hunter team, just like the Resident Evil team is the Resident Evil team.
just like the Street Fighter team is a Street Fighter team. So yeah. So they don't have like one studio that makes all their games. They have different studios within their within. So and Monster Hunter, it's always been big. It's just in America it finally got bigger, but it's always been,
they finally filed down enough of the edges to make it acceptable to the rest of the world, where it was only a Japanese title that was doing amazing, because again they were literally just hawking the PlayStation 2 version for about 10 years or 20 years.
Yeah. So to be honest, you could make an argument that their mascot should just be a Palico or something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
The real redheaded stepchild is Bionic Commando. He literally has red hair.
Yeah.
oh, well, no, I meant like, am I the only one that remembers like the studio that made Monster Hunter was headed up by like one of the higher up at Capcom's brother, and basically just had free range. Like they were an independent studio within Capcom, and they were allowed to pretty much do whatever the fuck they wanted.
Yeah, because they were making the money.
Yeah, well, that's all I'm saying. Like if they're an independent studio within Capcom, that's all I was saying.
Okay.
They probably
They worked at Capcom.
they probably had like Kojima, because they were doing so well for the company. They probably had Kojima level freedom.
Well, no, it was independent, and like just it was doing its own thing well before it got popular.
Yeah, and then the other thing, because they were able to do, one of the other things that I feel like that allowed them to do whatever the hell they wanted is because their games didn't cost fucking much.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
making them for goddamn handhelds. When you start spending millions and millions of dollars, that's when the big guys start going, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you're making a cheap, shitty PlayStation 2 game and porting it to a Nintendo Wii and a fucking a PlayStation portable, that ain't much.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they're
I
making.
mean,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that they're about as separated within the company as they get, and I would think just it being a Japanese company and knowing how the Japanese react sometimes, based on like PlayStation and all that shit. I don't know if I were in Capcom and my younger brother, who I just been like, you just fucking play in this little field, whatever, all of a sudden came out with a hit game that put Capcom on the map. I don't know if I'd want to really necessarily make that my new mascot and admit failure.
No, the way they see it is that it's still all them.
Yeah, it's still all Capcom at the end of the day, and the thing is,
Yeah.
like, Capcom was already on the map before Monster Hunter became big, and that's the other thing I was going to say. Like, Capcom, in a way, has a lot of different mascots they could pull from.
That's my point.
Yeah, who was suddenly really big this year because she was in Fortnite? Chun-Li. She's been a mascot forever. Ryu's been a mascot forever.
Ryu.
Chris Redfield. Like, they have a lot.
Redfield.
But I think for this year, I think Palico is probably it. It's basically you can have a new Capcom thing every year. Actually, for a few months, who was their mascot? Lady Dimitrescu. So yeah, Capcom just has no shortage of mascots for sure. The chat's already Lady D. Oh, there's gonna be Manny, get ready for New York Comic Con. You already know that's gonna be
there's gonna be a lot of Lady D's there.
Yeah, so get ready, man.
There's also gonna be a Lady C.
All right. Yeah, Yeah, Mega Man. Mega Man's here is just Capcom needs to do another one.
I mean, nobody remembers Captain Commando. Remember, at one point it was Captain Commando that was their mascot.
Yeah,
he didn't even have a fucking game. It was just in the back of the book. You'd see like they had a poster that they used to put out with it too, where when you bought a Capcom game and it'd be like Captain Commando says you should play Mega Man, and they'd show you all the different games on the bottom. He's this dude. You remember that guy? It was like essentially.
I know who you're talking about, but wasn't that like a Japanese thing?
No, that was in American.
He had an arcade game. That's all he did.
Yeah.
Well, that was later on, but yeah, like in the books inside of the user manuals, in the back of them, you would see Captain Commando there. He had these big like chains on, and he looked like.
And he had
Captain
his big
Howard.
sunglasses. Yeah.
So, and then they redesigned him at some point. And they used to give you a poster too. Whenever that was a bunch of junk they would give you inside of a Nintendo thing. They give you a poster, or they give you the manual, and you got all kinds of other fun stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
He was their OG mascot, like even before when they put Mega Man on there.
Yeah. All right, man. Moving on here. This is also Mob Hits. All right. Can you name franchises with cult followings and explain why they never broke big?
Cult followings.
But yeah, cult followings, and they just never made it big for whatever reason.
Well, like it's funny. Nier would be one of those, but now it's not.
Now it's not. Yeah, now it's big.
When it came to like Drakengard and Nier and what is that other one that they did? There was like three games that are sort of connected to each other in the Nier franchise. All those Yoko Taro games until Nier Replicant, those games were just the niche sort of
Nier
like
Automata.
games before Nier Automata, all of those games were all considered sort of niche sort of titles, and they were like, I don't know why these aren't doing anything until Replicant came out, and then it exploded. Not Replicant, excuse me, Automata.
I want to because guys are saying Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs doesn't count because it's a single game, but the Streets games you can make an argument which Sleeping Dogs is a part of. Remember, there was Streets of L.A., Streets of New York, and it was supposed to be Streets of Hong Kong, and they changed it to Sleeping Dogs. I think it was because I can't speak for Sleeping Dogs, but I think it's because those two games are just too closely resembling GTA, even though they were very different. They were the other side of the law. You played as cops, and I quite enjoyed Streets of New York. I thought it was good. And that game proved to me, it's like, oh, you don't want actual New York traffic replicated in the game because you'll never get around. And that game did it. It
was like a full size New York too.
Yeah, it was a 1-to-1 New York, real traffic, real streets and stuff. So it's like I'm trying to chase a guy, one-way street. Oh shit, So that wasn't working too well. But yeah, there's True Crime.
True Crimes is cool. You get hooked on drugs. That was fun.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I think that's what it is. It was just too much like GTA. What else? What happened?
Sorry, I spelled my Red Bull wrong. I'm dying.
Oh damn! Don't die, man.
No,
the driver series count as cult classic? I guess. Or cult series?
I think so.
So why didn't those make it big?
Well, it was because of Driver. Like, I feel like Driver games had a momentum, but I think Driver 3 like essentially killed all of that.
Yeah.
What was the one that was just happening in his head?
Yeah. Guys, we're talking about franchise. Rival Schools, were there more than one game of those?
No, there was just one. Project Justice only got one game.
Yeah, Bully doesn't count as just one game. We're talking about franchises, guys. Franchises.
Yeah, Rival Schools only really had one game and just got like a championship edition. Like, Project Justice is just an expansion of whatever the last game was. You know how Capcom does.
Brooklyn Bear goes Knack 1 and 2. That is a franchise.
What's that?
From Knack 1 and 2 is a franchise.
There you go. Yeah,
it's a franchise. I mean,
Manhunt?
Manhunt 1 and 2.
That's a franchise.
I feel, does that have like a cult following to it?
I don't know. It did for a while.
Remember that was one of the few games that came over from PS2 to the PS4. You can play that and the Warriors.
Actually popular?
No, I don't know. No, we're talking about cult games. So the whole thing is like they never became popular, and they want to know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, cult games can't become popular. I thought Manhunt was pretty popular.
Was it?
It got pulled from a lot. I think it got popular because of the deaths. But
Oh, so if it's popular, then it doesn't count. Yeah.
it depends. I don't know how many people that own it. I know I own the physical.
There's a couple of the guys in the chats are throwing in some pretty good ones.
Throw them in here.
Dead to Rights.
Dead to Rights. Was that a franchise?
There was at least two.
With the
Dead
dog.
Right,
yeah, the dog.
With the dog.
The dog, yeah.
Dino Crisis was from Brooklyn.
There was 3 games.
Would you count those as cult games?
I mean, they made sequels to them, so that meant that they were.
I don't think they're cult. I think they're not mega popular. They're not mega popular, but
they're popular. Yeah,
yeah, they're popular
enough. You're making a sequel,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it doesn't.
But the thing is, But the thing is, he's talking about franchises, so he can't be
so I mean, but that's the thing. It can't be. Then if it's a cult classic, it's got to be just one and done, and that's where my Rockstar Table Tennis comes in.
Actually, no. I'm going to push back a little bit. I think games like East would count. They're very popular for that franchise, for those audiences, but they're not mainstream like that.
They're not mainstream. Okay.
Or the Riku games that he likes, the Legend of Heroes games. Yeah,
the Trails of
Gravity Rush
or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, to be honest, in those games, the Gravity Rush games, despite there being a sequel, they did well enough.
Those are cult games. Yeah,
I would consider those a cult game. Yeah.
Yeah. So because there are cult games that still get sequels, just they don't break. And by the way, those other games I just mentioned, East and Legend of Heroes, is because they're super cheesy, like niche. That's the word. Niche Japanese games that are. It's too much for a lot of people.
I suspect that a lot of
and
those
East, you can't even pronounce the name of that shit.
Weiss or whatever.
Yeah. Remember East? Wise. That's what we call it. Wise.
Yeah, Wise. Yeah. They still make them.
Yeah.
I think what keeps a lot of those things afloat is the investment in the game isn't incredibly huge, and it pays for itself. And
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They pay enough. Yeah.
I think that's why some like titles like that are able to stay around. It's like, okay, they don't do like gangbusters like a Red Dead game or any of those other things, but it does enough where it gives them a profit, and they're not spending a whole lot of money on that game in general.
I didn't see who brought this up, but it's a good point. Yakuza used to be
used to be.
Yeah, and now it's fucking blown up.
It's funny though. Yakuza was cult in the United States.
Yes.
In Japan, they were making Yakuza games left and right, and it was a very popular series. Like to the point where they made two Yakuza games that are in feudal Japan with the same characters.
Yeah, well, this is why we literally got like a Yakuza game every year, because they were just porting all of them over.
Mm-hmm.
But that was after
there was
it became
a delay
popular
on those ports, so it's not our fault.
Yeah,
they felt. Remember the producer, the creator?
They were still doing the old school thing. Yeah, they were doing the old school thing. Remember, Adam, back in the days, like the Japanese game would come out a year later, they were still doing that.
Yeah, it took forever.
Joey, no, Virtua Fighter was hugely fucking popular. That is not a cult anything, hugely popular Yakuza, the Virtua Fighter games. By the way, I'm still surprised. I forgot who said this on Twitter. Why isn't Kiryu in any fucking fighting game?
Yeah,
like
why
as a cameo?
Throw him in Virtua Fighter.
Throw him in Virtua Fighter. Why isn't he in Tekken or something? You know what I'm saying? Just somewhere. Sega could be like, hey, borrow him. That guy's like ready made to be a fighting game character.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. Let's see what else is going on in the chat here. There's a zombie. Yeah, there is. Bushido Blade only made one of those, didn't they?
Yeah, just one.
Yeah, just
Quick
one.
kills.
They only made one.
Quick kills.
Yeah.
Danganronpa. How many of those did they make?
They made a lot of those.
So that would count. That would count.
Those are. It is a very niche title, but it's one of those interactive novels.
Yeah, those visual novels, I think they call them.
The visual novels. Yeah, there we go.
I watched a video on them because I'm like, what the fuck is a visual novel?
It's essentially a comic book that you sort of interact with.
Yeah, it's basically a video game without actual gaming. It's just clicking through the cinemas and making choices sometimes.
Yeah, you make choices sometimes, and sometimes there's a very little bit of gameplay. It's very light sort of playing.
Like Telltale games.
No, not. There's more. There's actually more gameplay.
There's more gameplay in Telltale games,
than those visual novels. Which I think there's at least for those things, it's an interesting way to sort of. It's like an interactive comic almost.
It's interesting. All right, good stuff there. And the final question of the night. All right, this is from Assyrian Air Force. I'm also going to follow this up. Yes, I'm going to throw in a question from, and I'm not even going to say Rami, from Tony, because I got a question for you, Chris.
Yo, Tony.
But we'll see.
For me?
Yeah, so that'll be the real last question of the night. But it's inspired by this one, because nobody asked us a question about this thing, even though it's our lead topic of last episode. I believe it was our lead topic. I don't know. Okay, with all the attention that the Nintendo Switch OLED has gotten, is it possible for Sony to release a new handheld, possibly with internal storage and micro SD card? Would you want it to be a portable PlayStation 4 or 5? Sony's done with handhelds, bro.
Yep.
I don't want to buy any more of that shit because they don't support them.
They have no interest, you know.
Sony,
I mean, what else could you add to that?
Go ahead, Brett.
Sony, they back an idea that sounds cool, and then if it doesn't get immediate reception, they just bail on it and never do it again. Which most stuff doesn't get immediate reception. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no,
I like how Tony phrased the question for Chris, but just answered it himself.
Right?
Wait, did I answer it?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, no. I didn't ask the Chris question yet.
Oh,
I didn't ask the Chris question yet. You know, I answered the previous one. I was like, "Oh, you're tripping me up." Bobby Carlos, you're right. You're right over there, bro, with the storms.
Yeah, I just changed to my laptop just in case.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I didn't ask the Chris question yet. I think we're all agreeing, right? Sony's not gonna.
Yeah, it's over.
No, I don't think that. As much as I would love them to release another handheld, because I do think the Vita, there's so much that can be improved for what the Vita was. I don't think handhelds are another toe dip for PlayStation.
Yeah, I think it's over.
I think they're
done.
Especially the way Nintendo's doing it with the whole Switch and using it as a main system and taking on the go. Then whoever comes in after would have to do the same thing, and no one's going to do that.
Oh, Brett. By the way, Brett, real quick, Microsoft already does have a handheld. It's called your phone. Xbox Game Pass.
That's my.
But it's everything. Game Pass is on everything, tablets, everything. It doesn't matter. So it's just a software. You make it whatever you want to make it. So,
I could still see Microsoft coming out with a piece of hardware, even if it's just
It's that Surface. That's what they're advertising now. To go buy.
They could integrate with
for it because they're like, oh look, take $100 off and play Game Pass on the go. I got the email on that the other day.
Hey, Carlos, there you go. The email.
The email is like, oh, $100 off to play Game Pass on the go, and it shows somebody playing, and it takes you because it's the 2 screen, and it shows the bottom one turn into an actual controller, so that way you can just use the whole screen at the bottom if you don't want to have a physical.
Okay, I can see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the Microsoft has already sort of gotten their hands in that because of just the general wide space that the Game Pass actually hits. But Sony.
That's exactly why they should get into it.
Yes, but again, Sony is just not going to be dipping their toe in that.
Yeah, no,
again.
They're done.
Right. You know, I think it was the what warranted the PlayStation to essentially do a sequel to the PlayStation Portable is because, despite what it was, it actually did quite well. When we want to we were talking Monster Hunter before, it did very well in Japan, and then there was a lot of titles that in the States did very well too. Granted, it didn't do amazing, but it did enough for them to say, hey, let's see if we can make a new one of these. But they didn't, the big key that they screwed up on was the fact that you couldn't use any memory card on the damn thing, and they cost $100 or more. For how many gigs? 2 or 1?
Oh, the Memory Stick Pro was very expensive.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. It was like a gig or whatever like that, and then it was like 500 megabytes, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Surface Pro, $749.
Damn, the graphics card right there.
There you go.
All right, and the last question. This one, Chris. This is the question. It's a two-parter actually.
Oh, part 1 and 2.
All right. So, what do you think of the Nintendo Switch OLED reveal, and is it worth buying?
Oh, what I think of the reveal?
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised. It was completely underwhelming, and the best thing they showed on there is a freaking kickstand. I mean, come on. With all the and Bloomberg started this snowball of speculation with we're gonna get 4K and an upgraded Tegra 2 based SoC and all this stuff. So everybody was expecting that, and I mean, that was like I was thinking that would be nice to have, like, do a Switch Pro and like, yes, upgrade the SoC, get the Tegra 2 in there. You know, it'll be backwards compatible. You don't have to worry about that. Put more memory in the system. Put more internal storage. You know, all the nice stuff. Like, but definitely, like, the main thing that it should have had was 4K output. Like, it had, like, I think
Yeah.
that would have been key. Not just bump up the handheld screen, but take care of the people who play it dock too.
Yeah,
Like,
and
have it look
Chris, just real quick, and I said this on the show. It's very interesting how Nintendo does. They serve their handheld users well. They don't serve the dock people at all.
no.
You know.
And the only thing they added to the dock was like wired LAN, and I'm like, really? For the couple of games you play online, which people have been playing online for the last 5 years, have been playing Smash Brothers and Mario Kart and Splatoon without an issue. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, wired LAN is important now." And it's like, "Oh, please."
Yeah.
So this update was, completely lackluster. Like adding on all these. By the way, they're actually, and Manny said this before. Nintendo doesn't do anything unless they can cut costs.
Of course.
This
Yeah.
OLED screen is actually saving them money
Yeah.
on the manufacture of the system, but yet it's $50 more. You notice that,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
They're charging you more, and they're saving money. So this is pure profit for them, and I think it's ridiculous. So if you have a Switch, obviously don't update to this. It's not worth it. Like if you don't have a Switch, I guarantee they're eventually going to phase out the Switch that they're currently selling, and this OLED edition will just be the Switch. So if you don't have a Switch and you want one, I guess get this. Because if you, and especially like if you're like Adam and you like to play it handheld, then this has better features. The kickstand on the current Switch is a joke. So if you're gonna play it like that, this is obviously designed for that. The screen is better. So yeah, like that's the only way I'd say you get this. Like, do not update to this. If you have a Switch and you switch and you get this, oh god, the word. If you think this is an upgrade, this is not an upgrade. This is a lateral move to a system. Like that's a waste of money. Plus, it costs $50 more than the other one, and and you're not getting anything else. You're getting a wired LAN port, which you don't really need. Even if you play heavily online, people have been doing that already. People are playing Monster Hunter Rise right now in Smash Brothers with wireless. Yes, the optimal way is to play wired, but think about this: the PS5, PS4, 360, whatever, they all have built-in Ethernet adapters, right? They can handle megabit or gigabit LAN stuff. This is a translation of USB-C to Ethernet through the wired LAN port that they add. So don't think this is adding anything. There's no Ethernet adapter in the Switch handling the data. This is just USB-C translation to wired LAN. So there's still going to be lag, right? So that's not
Man.
any type of upgrade for you, right? If you have good wireless and you playing right now, then continue to play that way. Otherwise, like skip this.
I'm just putting that stand on eBay after I get it. I don't need that shit. I don't need to hurt my eyes anymore when I fucking see these games on a big 4K screen.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It should have. The 4K output should have been the main thing. And they pretended like they were listening to people. It's like, no, motherfuckers. If you had listened to people, you would have put the new Tegra in there and made a 4K output.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Epic Geezer for reminding me of what I tweeted out that day. I said for $350, you're better off getting yourself an Xbox Series S and Game Pass than this piece of shit.
Absolutely.
You know,
I
waste of
100%.
fucking money. Yeah.
I know people are gonna get mad, but it's like, I don't care. This is not a real update. The only reason they did this is to save money on manufacturing costs, and they did that. But they make you think that you need to pay more for this. Really? Oh shit, man! You are getting scammed.
Nintendo being Nintendo, man. That's how it is. All right, I think we're done. Another good episode here. So a couple of pimperings to go on. First off, got a couple podcasts that some other guys have been on here.
Whoa.
All right, so first up, you can catch me, Chris, and Carlos over on the Coalition doing our review of episode 5, right, of Loki. Yeah, we're almost at the home stretch. We're finally going to be free of this series. Series has been bad, but the podcast have been good. So that there's at least that, And then we also have same guys plus Manny doing Black Widow. We went pretty deep into that one. Very extensive review, very good. I enjoyed that. So go check all that out on the Coalition. You can also find the Coalition on a bunch of podcasting platforms. So coalitionwithak.com. Anyway, Manny, what do you have to pimp?
And I finally found my Wonder Woman book. Perfect. All right, so got some comics here. So yeah, first one we got here. I keep forgetting about this.
Uh-oh.
But Future State Wonder Woman that me and Letha Martinez did before. I actually found the graphic novel. The graphic novel came out actually not quite long ago, and it did pretty well for us. So hopefully, we'll see some of these characters coming back. If you dig that one, obviously we have Static, which this month is coming Static 2. So keep an eye out for that. This is Static number 1. Then what we got is Represent, which also came out the same time as what was the other one there? Oh, there. It came out at the same time as Superman Red and Blue. Superman Red and Blue is sort of a limited color sort of thing. It seems like DC and Marvel are doing a lot of those these days, sort of making these sort of limited color books. There's also another one called Wonder Woman Gold, and and I'm sure there's probably going to be Harley Quinn Red and Black or something. Who knows? But yeah, there seems to be that. And then obviously there's always Excellence, which we're working on the next issue, and keep an eye out for that. Thanks for getting our Kickstarter, and also shout out to Mr. Brooklyn Bear.
Yeah.
You got a nice little care package from me and the Throwdown crew. For thank yous for our wonderful background that you see going on behind us here, and he also did some nice little bits of editing together for our boxing and a couple of other things. We do need to update our channel.
Yeah, that's right, Jose. I'm gonna hit you up. We need to update the trailer, add in some new games in there. We'll talk about that. But yeah, also shout out to him for the podcast, the Coalition podcast. He's one of our members as well. And today was the first time you actually talked to him.
Yes, I've never actually talked to Jose before, though. Emailed him a bunch of times and talked to him through Twitter and stuff like that. So that was really cool. Maybe when next time I'm up in NYC, we go get some food or some shit.
Yeah, because listen, I still owe this man for all the work. So I told him I'm gonna pay you back with food. He didn't really want money. He's like, it's cool, but I'm like, I got to give you something, bro. So,
I mean, you know how it is. You know how it is. When you do family, right? You
I was about to say,
house, you give them food and
give you some plátanos, man. We'll be all right.
Get some plátanos, and you're good.
All right, Adam, you got anything to pimp, man?
No, not this. I mean, there's some things I'm working on for the Coalition, but that should be coming out toward the end of the week. So by Thursday, I'll send some stuff.
Adam.
Oh,
shit. The nuke. It's finally happening.
That's done. That already happened. You missed out. Shit was awesome.
Adam was hyping that nuke for a month,
That shit was crazy, man. See everybody get disintegrated. That was awesome. That's it. Bring it back.
Oh, man. All right, people, we're done. Another good episode of Throwdown. So make sure you follow us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, all the good places. You can search us. Any podcast app, Throwdown Show. You already know 2 words, Throwdown Show. Any podcast app you want is there. Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, everything, man. Big and small. And you can listen to the older episodes in your ears on throwdownshow.com, which is also our audio boom. It's basically the same thing, but yeah. Everything's there. All our good stuff. And as always, links are located in the description below. And that's both on YouTube and on Twitch. So check out it literally on Twitch. If you're on Twitch right now, just scroll. It's all down there. Because people are like, where can I find you guys? Like, it's down there. Literally down there. Oh, man. All right. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez. Oh, you're muted.
See you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
People gotta remember, it's just a game. It's just a game.
But is it on PC? Adam
$20.
Vale. Adam Vale.
Italy's your new Euro champs.
And Brett Murdoch.
Real people.
Yo, Adam, what's up with your boy McGregor, man? My man, that legs are not supposed to do that. Legs ain't supposed to do that.
Well, and not even that, but then his comments afterwards. I mean, he's lost it. He's something mentally, and I get it. It's heartbreaking. You trained for months, and you're all hyped, and then that shit happens. But this shit that he spewed, the promo afterwards was disgusting.
Oh my god!
Talking about people's wives. It's like, come on now. It was horrible.
Anyway, we'll see y'all on Thursday later.
Later, guys.